brokenness seems to be running rampant. It's been really relevant in my life. I am certainly in a season of healing right now. And if you're in one too, I encourage you to listen, because I think you're going to find this interesting. First, I want to get into why are things so broken? Why are relationships broken? Why is there so much disconnect when we live in a world where at your fingertips you might have 1,000 friends on Facebook and a million people following you on whatever other social media platform you might use, but yet there's so much loneliness and emptiness and broken relationships, and relationships just don't last. People just throw each other away. There's this disconnect, there's this brokenness going on. What's the root cause? And I just want to tap into that. So, as I've been going through my very challenging season of healing, it has occurred to me that this is an issue of self. And yes, other people make choices that are out of our control, and sometimes those choices are really painful. However, as I'm going through the season of healing here, healing from betrayal and from heartbreak and those things, I'm realizing that this is an inside job. And I just want to point you to Matthew 22 and 36. This expert in religious law is trying to trick Jesus, and he says, well, which commandment in the law is the greatest? And Jesus said to him, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the greatest and most important command. The second is like it. Love your neighbor as yourself. Okay. Love your neighbor as yourself. And so the first thing I think is, well, they didn't love me, and they should love me. I was their neighbor. The reality is that how can we love our neighbor if we don't know how to love ourselves? This season of healing for me has taken the blinders off, and I've just come to realize my self-talk sucks. My self-compassion sucks. When I feel feelings and I need to grieve, I beat myself up. I would never talk to somebody else like that. Why would I talk to myself like that? And if I don't know how to love myself, how could I ever love somebody else? And here's the thing. If I don't know how to love myself, what are the chances that I'm attracting people into my life that know how to love themselves? So here you have people who don't know how to love themselves, attracting people who don't know how to love themselves, and therefore nobody knows how to love each other. And we have this culture of brokenness and of disconnection, of throwing away relationships, of heartbreak and of hurt. And what's the solution? The solution for me is I've really been leaning on Romans 12 and 2. Do not be conformed to the patterns of this world, but instead be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And I'm just trying to feed myself the Word of God, feed myself the truth, that I'm called, I'm chosen, I'm an heir, a son to the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, who spoke all of creation into existence, all the heavens and all the earth. I belong to Him. And that even if I was the only person on the planet, that Jesus still would have died for me so that I could have eternal relationship with Him. That's the truth. And trying to tap in to the transformation that comes along by renewing my mind with that information and not the negative self-talk. And it's hard because I'm at 38 years of just being hard on myself is really challenging to overcome. But God, through prayer, through meditation, today was a hard day, specifically a hard day. However, leaning on God and saying, you know what? It's okay if I need to cry. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be disappointed and frustrated and angry about the loss of the hopes and the dreams and the plans that I had for that future. Grieve loss, face the pain, use that pain as a roadmap to healing and surrendering it to God. And it's a process. This is a process. If I had it all figured out, I'd write a book and I'd give it away or sell it and take over the world with all my riches or whatever. No. The reality is it's a process, and I'm learning as I go through this unexpected season of healing and pain, that pain will cause transformation and growth. And with that, I just want to share a little story. These children are walking to and from school every day, And they pass this old man's house. He's sitting out there in his rocking chair with his pipe, and his dog sits next to him and just howls nonstop. And so peer pressure finally prevails. They get one of the kids to go up and ask this man, why does your dog howl all the time? And he looks at the young man and he says, well, because he's sitting on a nail. And that kid looks at him and he says, well, why doesn't he move? And the old man replies, because it doesn't hurt bad enough. Wow. If you're in a season of pain right now, what I want you to understand, the picture that illustrates, is that when it hurts bad enough, we will move. We will change. God allows pain into our lives because it's the quickest way to affect change. Allow the pain to do its job and be changed. Be transformed. Be renewed. Becomes a new creation in and through God and through His Word. That's the journey I'm on. I hope it resonates with someone else. If it does, and if you want more, click like and subscribe. I'm going to keep these videos coming at you guys. Be blessed.